So it's 10:22, Thursday, May 29th, 2025. That's Central Standard Time. I don't know why that's important to me, but it is. I'm crazy. I guess it's because I work in so many time zones. Anyways, I'm laying here in bed and I'm thinking about my gratitude post. And I was thinking about, out of all the things I've talked about in the last 30 days, this sounds morbid, but if you knew me, you'd understand why. If I were to meet my maker tonight, what would be the one thing that I regretted not posting in a video for my kids and other people to see? What's the one thing that I'm most grateful for? And I am most grateful for a near-death experience I had. It happened in the early 90s. I don't remember the exact year, but I was very sick. I had a lot of female problems going on, and I couldn't walk across the room that things didn't feel like they were falling out, and I had to fight with the doctors for a couple of years to get answers and get things fixed. And anyways, but in the middle of all this, one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I was really, really, really sick. I had running a high fever, and I somehow made it to the couch. That's where I tend to migrate to when I don't feel good. And I remember laying there, and I couldn't get up. I was so sick I couldn't get up, and I kept trying to yell to get my now ex-husband or one of my kids to wake up, and I couldn't get anybody to wake up. And I was laying there, and I just was like, I'm going to die here. I know I'm going to die here. And I remember just laying there and crying because I was so weak, and my fever was so high. And I just felt like, okay, God, well, I guess if you want to take me, kind of thing. And I remember I just laid there and closed my eyes, and I was just going, okay, I guess this is it. And the only way I know how to explain it is, it was like I was outside of my body. I could see my body laying there on the couch. And I was taken somewhere, I don't know where, but it was like this, I mean, there's no words to explain how gorgeous it was. It was pure white light, but yet it had all the colors in the world in it. And I was just standing there looking at it going, wow, this is incredible. And I knew my body was there on the couch, but it was my spirit that was outside of my body. And I heard someone come up, someone, I would say someone for lack of a better way to explain it, come up behind me, and I turned around, and there stood Jesus. And he was this just totally gorgeous gold light. It was all around him, through him, in him, for lack of a better term. I mean, I assume it was a him, I don't know. But I knew that it was Jesus. And that's my higher power. And before you bristle and go, oh God, here goes the crazy woman with, trying to save me, saying, I don't save nobody. I figure it's up to you to find God, Jesus. If you seek, you will find. It's not my job to find it. And I'm not a churchy person. I've gone to church, but I don't go to church so I can save my relationship with the Lord. I don't expect you to understand that. I understand it. I've not had good luck with church. But back to what I was saying. In this experience that I had, Jesus was there, and there was the gorgeous white light, and I just felt like, oh, that's where I'm supposed to be. That's home. That's home. And I was like, but I looked back at my body and I was like, but I've got my kids. And I heard God or Jesus say something, but it wasn't like I heard it with my ears. It's like I heard it with my heart or my spirit or soul or whatever. And he said to me, Andrea, it's not time for you to go home yet. And I said, well, if I have to, I will. I mean, it's beautiful here. And he said, no, it's not time for you to go home. And I said, I know. He said, I've got other things for you to do. And I was like, well, yeah, I know I got to raise my kids. And he said, no, you have to do that, but there's other things. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I went back into my body. And I kind of went, there was a part of me, I was in my body, but I was watching what Jesus was doing. And when I went back and I said, okay, I'm not going to stay. Okay, I'll go back. I watched the Lord touch me from my everywhere, from my head, my chest, my stomach, all the way down my body. He would touch me and he would say, receive my healing. And this, gorgeous golden light would just go through and penetrate every part of my body, even my insides, and it would shoot out the ends of my toes. And it was just indescribably beautiful. And I guess I went to sleep. I went back into my body, and I woke up the next day, and I was okay. I wasn't sick anymore, but everything felt weird and felt heavy. And I remember thinking, this world is really heavy. This earth suit, this body, that it's like carrying a ton of weight around, because I had experienced not having it. And then I thought, well, was that really real? Hell, I don't know. I think I'm crazy. So I wasn't saying a word to anybody about it. And that night I happened to have a group therapy session, which I had been doing for a while, and there was a nun. I was a Catholic at that time, and a nun named Sister Rachel was the counselor, therapist. She knew me very well. And I'm trying just not to say anything. I feel like I'm vibrating all over the place or something, but I'm not saying anything. And Sister Rachel, right when the session started, she said, Andrea, what have you been through? I'm like, what are you talking about? What, you just like you're glowing everywhere. What, did you do something? And I'm like, you can tell. And she said, yeah. And I said, you'll think I'm crazy. And so she convinced me to talk about it. And she told me, Andrea, you're not crazy. The Lord came to you and he saved you. And I've never forgotten that moment in my life. I can see it in my mind, even now in my heart, in the depths of who I am. And I know where home is, the ultimate home. And I know when I go back there, it's just going to be absolutely, unbelievably gorgeous. It's the only way I know how to explain it. And I know that there are days here that this earth suit feels really heavy to me. But I also know that my kids are grown. I have grandchildren. Now I have great-grandchildren. And there's still more work to do. And I know what that dream is. And I know it'll come in its time. And I guess if I hadn't had that experience happen to me, I don't know what would have happened to me, because I was in a very bad place, physically, mentally, spiritually at that time. And I'm so grateful for that experience. I've had other experiences, but not as moving as that, because God told me to come back. And I'm grateful God told me to come back, because I would have missed out on some beautiful stuff here. So, anyways, that's my gratitude for tonight. Love you guys.